Hello, it is Sid the Kid, and I am here just with just a regular topics kind of video, just some things that kind of came up in the news, and just kind of the reactions that I've seen, and just how disconcerting it probably all is. So I just do have a few notes. I think the first thing that I want to talk about is just recently, Marlon Wayans went ahead and put up a post in reference to his daughter, who is 19 years old, who recently came out as gay to him. And I guess he was just saying how much he loves his daughter unconditionally and how it's a wonderful thing. And of course, black people lost their fucking minds. And of course, just your average homophobes really lost their minds. But I think what bothered me the most is because I knew I was going to hear negative things from other races, other demographics, but I did not think I was going to see it so pervasively through my own. So I guess he made a post about his daughter, and it was very sweet and very loving. And then you have people saying, oh, how can your daughter possibly know what she is at this point? How can your daughter know what her sexual orientation is? And you're pushing her into this. Stop promoting homosexuality. Blah, blah, blah. Horse dead, cow fat. Go kill yourself. And this is my problem with it. This is what I think that my biggest issue is the fact that we have black children who are committing suicide at an alarming rate because of people's reactions to their sexual orientations. Still has nothing to do with you, but the fact is that you have people who are being bullied, who are having suicidal ideations, and I feel very, very passionate about this, being is that I do identify as a pansexual and I suppose an LGBTQ ally, and I see a lot of things wrong with this scope. Especially seeing so much hate come from black people. It's so upsetting because it's like we are a marginalized community persecuting another marginalized community. Now, I understand what a lot of people have to say in reference to the LGBTQ because they feel like it's been whitewashed and it doesn't represent them. That's a different issue. You're not anti-gay and bashing gay people. You're saying that the people that are supposed to be representing us, I don't see myself. Separate issue. Completely separate issue. What I'm talking about, what I'm speaking on, is that you have people who are coming out saying that this is my sexual orientation and I am proud of who I am. And then you have black people saying shit like, well, homosexuality is a white man's disease. The reason why you feel like this is okay is because of all the rape that we endured during Middle Passage and slavery. This is my issue. I would never go ahead and say that we can't have some kind of mitochondrial actual trauma, because it's actually been proven when they did the same study on Jews after the Holocaust. They realized that trauma was something that literally could live inside your DNA and be passed on. I'm not, again, not saying that this doesn't happen, but you're not going to blame a whole race of oppression, a whole era of oppression, and say that that's the reason why you're gay. I've been with men, I've been with women, I was with someone who was trans. I don't have an issue with what is going on between your legs, but because I am what is viewed as a cis woman, people say wild, spicy shit around me like they think I'm not going to say something. And it's a fucking problem because we see shit and don't say shit and then it continues. My little sister has recently come out to me and let me know that she feels like she likes girls. And what was my response? Okay, that's not a problem. You're still not allowed to date because of your age. But I don't have an issue with what your sexual orientation might be. And to be honest, when I was super young, like really young, I think I remember being 10 years old. I have to remember, I come from a very Caribbean household. And I think I was watching something like What Women Want, the movie with Mel Gibson and everything. And whoever played his daughter, I can't even remember to this day. I have no idea even what she looks like. But I remember looking at her and going to my mom being like, so how can I have a baby with that? Longest silence of my life. But my mother didn't go ahead and do anything that was going to damage me. She didn't say I was wrong for my feelings. There was a lot of silence and uncomfortability because she didn't know how to handle it either. But she wasn't about to go ahead and bash me. And the thing about it is, this is not the first time it's happened. When Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, who are just celebrating their son, who is young, taking him to the Pride Parade because this is how he feels as a human being. This is how he feels as a person. You can't tell... it boggles my mind because it's like, when somebody tells you who their sexual orientation is, you can't tell them, oh, you're just confused. Nah, nigga, it sounds like you confused because I just told you what it was. I just told you how I feel. And so we're just going to invalidate my feelings because it's not something that rides or that's comfortable with how you want to go about your life. And I think this is another one of my bigger issues, is the fact that you have so many women out here who have no problem kitty clicking to the end of tomorrow. But God forbid their son becomes gay. Now we're going to go ahead and be like, oh, Empire this and this TV show, and you're trying to make everybody gay and all sorts of stuff, and I don't want to go ahead and put my child around that. First of all, you can't just watch something on TV and be like, oh, I want to suck a dick. That's not how it works. I don't know why this is white people thought this is how it works, but it doesn't. Your sexual orientation, that is already set in stone from when you're born. Because nobody, especially after how many people are dying, especially black and brown and transgendered queer people who are dying in the street right now. When you say things like, oh, I just don't want my son to be gay and I just don't want this to happen. Let me tell you something. With all of the things that actually that people who do live alternative lifestyles, what they have to go through, the discrimination, just the fucked upness of life and how people think of them, just because people are just generally fucked up. That's not a choice you make. That's you living your truth. And I promise you, baby, all these people who are like, oh, I don't want my son to be gay. I don't want my daughter to be gay. I don't want all these influences and stuff. Guess what? You're going to wake up and then your son's going to be like, I want dick. You already speaking it into existence. Straight. That's how I feel. Because it's like almost like conversion therapy. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? You was going to hit me over the head and I was going to change my mind? I don't mean to get so upset, but it's truly something that hurts me so much, because all of this hate that I'm speaking of, because I really don't care about anybody else. All the hate that I'm speaking of is coming from black and brown people. And I don't understand how you can pretend and come out of your mouth and say you're pro-black when you're not pro all black people. You cannot have it both ways. You can't. Because that's still a demographic of your people who are suffering. So when I think about the things that are going on in the Caribbean today, where people are literally getting cut down in pieces because they actually want to be themselves in a place that they call their home. Like, I don't know if anybody is too young to know the whole Toni Morrison, Stella Got Her Groove backstory. But she fell in love with a younger man, brought him over to America, where he came out as gay, because guess what? While he was there in Jamaica and he wanted to come out, he saw people around him dying. So guess what? He lied to this bitch and then brought him over to the States so that he could be free. Real talk, that's basically what happened. That's basically what happened. And of course people are going to be like, oh, he's so horrible. How dare he? So on and so forth. And to be real with you, I'm just like, hey, I'm glad you got out. Real talk. I'm glad you got out. Because you shouldn't be living in oppression for who you are. And it sucks because these same black women who want to say all of these different things about wanting to protect their sons and make sure their sons turn into real men, per se. It just sounds like a lot of toxic masculinity to me. But all of those... But all of those girls will be like, oh, I'm not homophobic. I love my gay guys. I love my Judys. Listen, these people are not fucking accessories. It's not shit you pick up and take off and you put in your closet and come back. It's not a coat. This shit boggles my mind. It's like, how dare you? Honestly, you want to pretend you support gay people, but in reality, you just support what gay people do for you. And it's in the same sense where a lot of white people or non-black people want to get the coolness. They want the swag, but they don't want the actual black issues. They don't want the actual struggle. And all of these girls are like, yes, Kiki, blah, 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 all of this stuff. Where do you think it came from? It came from the black queer community that you're shitting on. And it's so upsetting. And I understand people are old-fashioned. I understand people come from different eras. And if that's indeed the case, then I have no problem with you keeping your kitchen table talk to yourself. All I have to say is if you say something fucking ignorant, please don't be upset with me when I put you in your place. Because these are real people that you're fucking talking about. And it sucks. It's like, oh, because I wasn't exposed to it, then I just don't know how to act. But then on the other side, if my children are going to be exposed to it, they're going to turn out gay. It's just like, yo, pick a struggle. Pick a struggle. It's really, oh, Jesus, it's just so upsetting. It just makes me so mad because it's something that I am constantly walking into. It's like we want so much of what gays can bring you, of what, like, all the color and all the popping and the, yes, girl, let me get the tea, blah, blah, blah. But you don't care about gay rights. You don't care about what actually happens to these people that you just want to siphon off from. And I just want to point out the hypocrisy that black people want equal treatment, but they're not willing to treat other black people equally. It's a fucking problem. I want to say that's really it. I think I lost what was left of my notes, to be honest. But it was just something that had come up, and it's just been heavy on my heart. And it was just something I felt the need to talk about because black people are not a monolith. We are not all the same. And one person does not define another. And I just feel like it's so fucked up that we're not willing to help our trans sisters and our trans sisters and brothers, our queer community, our black community. It makes me so upset because then people want to say, oh, well, I'm pro-black, but then you want to call homosexuality racial genocide. This is poisonous. This is super poisonous. And we have trans women who are dying. They're getting shot. They're getting cut up. I'm talking about Jamaica. I'm not even talking about the missing trans women with all of the issues that are going on here in the U.S. And I don't know. It sucks because sometimes it feels like, because my own circle is so small, I'm like, am I the only one that just wants to make it make sense, baby? Anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and get that off my chest. It's something has to give and something has to change in order for our community to get better. And we can't continue to point out the discrimination if we can't look at ourselves and see how we're discriminating against each other. It's like, oh, you're black, but oh, you're gay, so that's different. So I'm not sure if we can invite you into the fold. Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you came in on. Real talk. That is it for this video. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get this uploaded. I am still trying to edit the reviews that I am doing. And oh, by the way, Pose, I believe, comes out June 11th on FX. I will be trying to find the episodes that I will be able to go ahead and review them for you. I feel like Pose is one of those TV shows that is groundbreaking enough to humanize the trans, queer, gay experience, especially through the eyes of people of color. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge it as an amazing stride, but that's an amazing fucking stride. And brava. And I am so ready for season 2, baby. Yes, ma'am. Anyway, again, this is Sid the Kid. I will be back with another video, probably maybe some more topics, but just wanted to get this off my chest. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe.